let's get a seat. It's a cold weather in Lagos, so you might want to get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea so you can get a sense of what we're going to talk about tonight. It is not every time you see some kind of disruption, some kind of disagreement. There's debate, and well, the plenary in the National Assembly is made for debate. So sometimes you see some people get agitated and some people walk out. So there was a mild drama in the House of Representatives earlier today as some lawmakers from the People's Democratic Party staged a walkout after its caucus leader, Kingsley Chinda, was ruled out of order by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila. Mr. Chinda had prayed the House to urge the federal government to defer the suspension of Twitter while the chamber conducts its investigation into the circumstances that led to this action by government and its legality as earlier directed by the Speaker. The committee is to invite the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, to give details. The PDP lawmakers were heard insisting that they would continue with their threat to go to court over the matter. So, for a moment, let me allow you to listen to what really happened, just a bit of what happened, so you can get a sense of what our conversation is going to be about tonight. Take a listen to Honorable Chinda before the walkout.
We should urge the executive arm. In the interim, I use the word urge, the executive arm, in the interim, to reverse this order, pending the outcome of our interaction with the executive arm.
So Thank you, Honorable Chinda.
Yes, sir.
Let me very quickly, so that we can move along, refer you to Order 9, Rule 1, Sub-Rule 6 of our rules. It shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session. You're ruled out of order.
Mr. Speaker,
please, Chinda, please be guided.
The Speaker has already ruled on it. Please resume your seat. You know the rules better. You know how to come back. You know the rules better. If you are so passionate about it, you know how to come back.
What? Mr. Speaker, in the circumstance, for PDP members, we have agreed we'll continue.
The next order of the day.
Please, Chinda, please, you are a ranking member.
Is the first reading.
We'll continue to tweet.
Please,
we are with Nigerians, and if the Attorney General wants to...
If you want to go. Go.
Where is it here?
You can see them. The disappointment, the disagreement of opinions and ideas there, and the eventual walkout by some of those lawmakers. Well, the Speaker mentioned the fact that some remain, but we'll get to that in a moment. So let's get a sense of what is happening. Why are the lawmakers staging a walkout over this Twitter matter? What exactly are they driving at? Let's get perspectives to it. Tonight I'm being joined by the members of the House of Representatives at the sitting today. Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf, a PDP member from Kogi State, and Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, an APC lawmaker from Plateau State. Thank you so much, honorable members, for joining us tonight. So Nigerians can get a sense of what is happening, what led to the walkout, what exactly the lawmakers are talking about. Let me begin with you, Honorable Yusuf. Give us a sense of what angered you and your colleagues to stage that walkout today.
Thank you, Sheung and our viewers. It's simple. If we listen, Honorable Chinda said, we adopt all that the Speaker said and we are in agreement with him. However, that we should urge the federal government to please rescind the decision to suspend Twitter pending the outcome. What are the reasons why we feel it should be rescinded for now? One, there are over 1,000 of Nigerian youth who cannot get a job who depend on Twitter for their daily livelihood. As of 3 days ago, it was estimated that we lose youths who do business on Twitter lose an average of 90 billion a day. The Speaker knows very well, he's a seasoned parliamentarian. He knows that what happened was the leadership through him reading to us an address and the position they have canvassed. It wasn't a matter that was put to question. So that 9 does not come to play. It wasn't put to question. He addressed us, and decision to be taken. It's a proactive decision. Leadership felt that they should not allow it come to the floor. What have you? So they took that decision. So privilege that under which that comes from does not stop. And information that was relayed from us does not bar you from privilege. So this agreement is not allow you. Like, okay, I've heard you. Okay, we'll put the question. Okay, I'm not putting the question. We are not putting that prayer. But to now come that a matter that had been decided on, we did not put it to voting. What you saw was leadership took initiative, addressed us, and we are not in any way opposed to it. However, I think the challenge is why we feel we should work out is the beauty of democracy, and those who crafted the Constitution and come about democratic governance, is to have a parliament where opinions are canvassed for and against. And I'm happy the Speaker enjoyed that tremendously before he became Speaker. He was in ACN, became APC member, and at every point in time, he had reason to rise up and express contrary opinion to the majority. That does not mean you will win the argument, but you will be heard. That's the beauty of democracy. So we work out because we felt we're not giving our opportunity to air our view. And what we did was we go to the press and say, this is our position. We're saying, hey, there are procedure. Let me put it there.
All right.
There are procedure to get Twitter to ban or to lift or to delete your message.
All right.
Complain.
Okay. So, Honorable.
Let me finish on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want we'll get to the meat. We'll get to the meat of the debate just in a while. We're still touching on why you walked out. Let me allow Honorable Yusuf Gadi quickly before we go on our first break to give us a sense of whether he agree with you, because you are trying to tell us that the presiding officer there erred in that regard by not allowing you to continue in that debate. Honorable Gadi, what's your view on what your colleague said?
My view is very simple. I am in total disagreement with what my leader and my brother, Honorable Tajuddin, said. Why are you disagreeing with the position of Speaker, and why are they disagreeing with Subsection 9, Subsection 1(6), where the rules of the House clearly spell out that a decision arrived at is uncontestable until otherwise it is decided? So at this plenary, Speaker reserved the right in different instances to read communication from Mr. President, and it automatically becomes the first reading. He has the power to come in a national situation like this to make statement that is in agreement with the people of Nigeria, where he said to Nigerians, because of the concern the National Assembly have, Mr. Speaker came, give speech, and refer his speech to 4 different committees of the House, not supporting federal government, but saying that those committees should dip into the matter and report back to the House. And remember, Honorable Tajuddin said they adopted what Mr. Speaker said. So if you had adopted the position of the Speaker, including referring the matter to the 4 different committees of the House, on what reason would you want to be heard again? Mr. Speaker have come to say that this thing is not right. We don't need to preempt either the federal government or Twitter. We have our relevant committees that should go and deep-rootedly investigate those matters and give a speech on behalf of the House and say, please, this committee hasten up and give us a report so that Nigerians can either enjoy Twitter for us to know the reason behind federal government doing that. And Chida, the factional leader of PDP, factional in the sense that if you look at those that went out, it's not all the PDP members that went out. Elimelu was not there, but I consider Elimelu as the caucus leader of the PDP. Now, Chinda, being a factional leader of the PDP, count from your script, let 6 other members out of the floor. More than 10 members of the PDP were on the floor. So in the first instance, Twitter matter shouldn't be it shouldn't be a party thing. It should be a Nigerian thing. So if they have agreed with the position of the Speaker, Chida stood up and adopted the position of the Speaker. Why are you walking out?
Let me get back to you, Honorable Yusuf. What some of your colleagues in the PDP, in their position, are asking on the floor today is that the federal government, one, you've asked that Mr. Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, should come and face the House of Representatives and give reasons for the suspension. You're also praying that they should hold on the suspension pending the investigation. Is that true? And you feel that this is not going to come back, and that's what led to the walkout. And well, there's something that the speaker said. I'd like you to listen to it.
For PDP members, we have agreed we'll continue.
The next order of the day
Please, Chinda, please, you are a ranking member.
is the first reading.
We'll continue to tweet.
Please,
We are
please.
with Nigerians. And if the Attorney General wants to...
At first, I thought it was a partisan move, but I'm so glad, and I'm happy to see several members of the opposition still here in chambers with us, and I commend you for your non-partisanship.
So he said, it's just a few of your colleagues that are left. What's your reaction to those questions?
It's the beauty of democracy. That's democracy for you. You can't have everybody on the same line. When he was minority leader, he had some worked out. Not every member of APC went out. I remember in 2014, on benchmark, after we had agreed on benchmark with Okonjo Iweala, they came back to the House, led by the Honorary Speaker's minority leader, to stage a walkout and contrary view. Not everybody walked out. I remember very well. So it's not anything strange. But let me deal with certain issues very clearly. Well, first of all, Honorable Chinda is not contestable. He is the PDP caucus leader. Ilmilu is the minority leader. It's not a contention. Two, that we adopted what he does not, we don't have a right to add to the prayer. What we are saying is that it is good leadership if Sada will come out of position, but I represent the constituency. I have an opinion I want to canvass. That is the beauty of democracy. If you don't conform, if you don't like it, put a question, if you booted out and it's not supported, that is it. But the idea of coerce and trying to stop me from making my view, Mr. Speaker, understand very well that this is how robust Parliament is. And what I'm saying, I still insist that Order 9.1 does not talk about information or address by the Speaker. It talks about a matter that we put to question. And let's even, without conceding, let's agree that we put to question. Privilege give you right when you come under privilege to unearth anything until you are heard. No, that thing will be discussed. And Chinda came under privilege. I mean, by the, I want to make something very clear that while we are doing this is for the president and the executive to understand the feelings of Nigerians. I just told us earlier here, there are 1,000 over 1 million people who depend on it for transaction. The fact that you have an issue with them that can be sorted out. When people talk about its insecurity, that's why they banned Twitter until the president's tweet was brought down. You never talked about the insecurity. You never complained. There are procedures. Get people to do their job. If in Nnamdi Kanu or anybody is using Twitter in a manner that could threaten our security, complain to Twitter. If they fail to bring it down, they will take on them. Until the president's tweet was brought down, I stand to be corrected. That tweet was in bad taste. Those who did that tweet for the president were not in any way representing the man. I think we should differentiate these things and put it in perspective. After the president's tweet was brought down, people now complain about Nnamdi Kanu's tweet. It was brought down. There are procedures. And the people begin to benchmark us with North Korea and what have you that happened there. No, sir. And come to think of a government that came into power using the social media, using Twitter. If I bring on earth what was tweeted in 2014, you know that nothing has happened. I am not in any way sitting here supporting people using those handles, a Twitter handle, to cause insecurity and threaten the peace of this nation. Not at all. But there are procedures. Must be seen as government of the rules, by the rule, that govern by the rule. And what we're saying purely today is urge, choose the word. Honorable deliberately, use that word twice. I say urge. Urge, you are not commanding. Urge, let it be on record that we say, for the sake of the innocent, who are not part of this crossfire, who live on this, hey, we are talking of insecurity. A hungry man, it naturally becomes the devil's workshop. Those who have been living on this social media to feel, what do they do in this period? Don't forget, COVID kept us home for like more than half of last year. We are just coming back. So sincerely, we must put this in perspective.
Okay, all right. So So let me allow Honorable Gagdi to respond to what you said. Honorable Gagdi, what is your response on that? Because I saw you nodding in disagreement.
Well, my response is straight to the point. I am a student that doesn't go out of the question that you asked me, and I will go strictly based on what he said. But let me clarify two things. One, I'm not going to dip into who is right and wrong on the suspension of Twitter activities in Nigeria. Two, I'm only going to justify reasons of Speaker's intervention, his position, which is the position of the House, and the ruling emphasizing on Section 9, Sub 1(6) of our House rule. Now, you brought a matter. Nobody should give an impression that Speaker is an autocratic leader. When the matter was brought in the first instance, if the privilege raised by Honorable Chida was not sustained in the first instance, he wouldn't have come up with that position on the floor of the House. When he raised a point of order, Speaker allowed him to ventilate, to say his opinion. In saying his opinion, mark my words, Chida confirmed with the position of Mr. Speaker and now ask that another clause should be a rider to the position of the Speaker. It means this is a total acceptance that position of Mr. Speaker was in line with the House rule. So no need of saying it needs to be put to question or what have you. Their actions speak volume. That position of this Mr. Speaker was in line with parliamentary procedures. That is one. Secondly, having accepted, you want something to be introduced. Speaker, being someone that knows the four angles of our House rule, quickly intervene after the matter of privileges was raised by Chida and make reference to Section 9, subsection 1, sub 6, telling him that we have resolved this matter. We have referred this matter to committees. Why do you want decision of suspending Twitter to be suspended? We are trying to join the gun by preempting the outcome of the committee in the first instance. If their amendment had been that, one, Twitter deleted comment of Mr. President. What is good for the good is equally good for the gander. Ask Twitter to return the statement first and ask the government to uplift the suspension. But you are not calling on the statement that was deleted, which in my opinion, I have my personal view about it, and it's not a good forum for me to say whether the decision of government is right or wrong. If you want an addition, the two actions ought to have been suspended, not the action of Mr. President banning or suspending Twitter activities in Nigeria and allowing the deletion of the position of Mr. President. So these are the things. One, Mr. Speaker was right, the position was, and there is something that happened after they left. I equally brought up a matter of privilege against a publication by Honorable, one of the members from Benue, that they will hold the House to ransom, they will grant the House if their opinion was not sustained, was blocked by Mr. Speaker and other members.
Honorable Gagdi, because
look at they are moving out of the chamber, and that publication is a planned thing to frustrate. Why are you even working out? We are not working out on the killings in the four angles of Nigeria, in Lagos, in Imo, in
Honorable Gagdi, we're out of time.
Borno.
Let's wrap up the conversation.
We need to be sensitive about what we work out of. On Twitter and
let's wrap up now. So we just have 20 seconds each for our final thought. I understand that you are going to court. Just in 20 seconds, where are you going from here, Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf? Just in 20 seconds for your final thought.
Just like we went to court on the NCC attempt to coerce the press, we're still in court. We tend to go to court because democracy stands on fundamental rights. When you cannot express yourself, when you are coerced, and that is very easy sign of dictatorship. We will go to court on with our lawyers to challenge that position that the president took. And I want to correct something here. We're interested in this matter because EU too cannot find job. The situation is so bad. The Twitter becomes an avenue, one of the avenues to which they disseminate and sell their products.
All right, 20 seconds is
That's why we worked.
Honorable, Honorable Gagdi, 20 seconds, please. Just stay within the limit of 20 seconds so that we can
Thank you. I'm not even saying that the suspension of the Twitter was right. But I want to advise them. We are parliamentarians elected by Nigerian people. And the primary responsibility of every parliament is to make law for order, peace, and good governance. Our priority now as members representing Nigerians is the killing on daily basis that is being meted in the four angles of Nigeria. On that, if the president, I have rules upon the floor of the House to condemn some of the policies of government. We shouldn't make Nigerians like they don't know what they are doing by walking out on Twitter suspension. We should walk out on the policies of government against insecurity that is not helping matters.
Not allowed to debate
but when you walk out,
we need to go now. We are totally out of time, and we've crossed our limit for the program tonight. Thank you so much, Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf, Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, for your time. And that's how we leave it tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye.